Welcome to Ep 2 of this week, the mini Ep of Week 13 preview and Week 12 low-key review. Have with me the man, the myth, the legend in the fantasy community, Samuel J.K. Verlinden. Tell him about it, Sam.
He's back. I'm the darling of the fantasy community, the best looking man in fantasy history,
Fuck.
the best artist. Your missus wants me. You want me as well. And I'm about to win Div 3. Even though I lost.
Let's go! I'll win Div 1 and you can win Div 3 and we will suck each other's. We'll go drinking, right?
A big matchup this week. I got one. It's 1 versus 2. I'm sitting in second, and I'm versing Matt. I think who's in first. Matt Rotto Court, and I'm gonna win. And that's the way it is. I've got the highest projected points in the league. I'm the best looking man in the league. Shout out to Sonny, the second best looking man in Div 3. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a man of faith, but I very much think that this season has been set up for you to win, Sam. Your stardom time has come. You picked up a team with Alexander Madison and a guy that had opted out as a starting two running backs, and now we have a team that arguably is the favorite to win your division. So, and now here you are on the greatest podcast in the fantasy community. So, I think your rise to stardom is just deserved.
They can make a whole movie.
Yep, I mean, they could make him at 30 for 30, Sam V. Without further ado, welcome again to the podcast. Now, our first segment, we're going to do things a little bit differently today. We're not going to go through every position. I'm just going to give you some sits in terms of flex guys through our division, just looking out and seeing who you would look at starting. My first one is, who would you look to fire up in this situation? Brian Hill, assuming Gurley sits, he had a limited practice yesterday and a non-practice today. Now, normally you'd have it the other way around, but I'm not trusting that his knee's okay, as arthritis might be playing it. If Todd Gurley doesn't play, are you flexing Frank Gore or Brian versus Las Vegas, or are you flexing Brian Hill versus New Orleans Saints?
Damn, but both those defenses are Las Vegas Raiders, huh? Yeah, I'm still getting used to saying that. I'm going Frank Gore against the Raiders. I think the Raiders are a friendlier matchup than New Orleans. So New Orleans been stuffing people. Can't trust it. Frank Gore.
Yeah, I don't mind Frank Gore. I think you guarantee the volume there, right?
Share.
Yeah, it's yuck, but he's going to get you 4 yards per carry, and he's going to get you 15 of them. So, yeah, I think that's the way to go there. Second one is Brandon Ayuk might be back, and we can finally see Debo 1 and Debo 2 on the same field together. Now, Brandon Ayuk goes up against Buffalo, and then my other option is Christian Kirk going up against the Los Angeles Rams. Such a tough call. Where would you look to go in this situation?
We say Ayuk or Christian Kirk?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Christian Kirk, and here's why. You got essentially a two-headed wide receiver machine in Arizona. They're going up against the Rams, who are run stuffers. They're gonna stuff Kenyon Drake. Kenyon Drake's gonna get shut down. Edmonds will get some work out the backfield. Kyler Murray's gonna have to scramble and throw. So I'm gonna say Kirk, because I think Debo Samuel as well will get quite a few targets.
Also, might make sense as D-Hop might get a bit of Jalen Ramsey action. Exactly. So, yeah, I think you could start Christian Kirk there against the Rams. Not a huge fan. Brandon Ayuk's the better talent, but I think situationally, if Ramsey ends up on D-Hop a bit, again, the D-line's pretty run snufflers for the Rams, and they might be chasing points. And Kyle had a full practice today, just got the report, so his shoulder might be okay again, and I reckon he'll fire up Christian Kirk there. Definitely is a boom bust flex type of guy.
Correct.
Naheem Hines versus Houston, assuming Taylor's back, or Jamison Crowder versus Las Vegas.
Wait. Who's Hines playing?
Houston.
Nah, JT is probably going to be the guy. Crowder.
Yeah, agreed. Man, we're starting Frank Gore and Jamison Crowder here, huh? Yeah, it's more an indictment on Hines than it is on Crowder. I think I'd prefer Crowder up against Vegas because they might be chasing points. They might sling, and he's kind of the only. Mims is but Crowder's the volume guy there. So, and I'm not sure about Hines, and I think JT could be back. So, yeah, I think you fire up Crowder as like your wide receiver 4 on your flex if you have to. Yeah. Cam Akers versus Arizona, or Marquise Brown versus Dallas.
Cam Akers versus Arizona. Cam Akers. Yeah.
Yeah?
I think Cam Akers is just about ready to take over that backfield. I think he'll probably get about 10 to 15 carries, maybe one out the backfield, and a tutty. So he's going to get you about, I don't know, anywhere between 13 and 15 points.
Damn, that's a decent day. I think he could get like 8, 9, 10 carries. His work or lack thereof in the passing game, a bit worrying. For me, he needs to score a touchdown for you to like him. But Marquise Brown, Dallas, I don't know, because the backup quarterback came in and then Marquise Brown had a 70-yard TD and everyone goes, oh my God, we just needed this guy to unlock Marquise Brown. I don't think that's the case at all. I think he had a 70-yard TD and that's kind of just the boom or bust. I think Dallas secondary is pretty shit though. I think if Jackson's back, I'm kind of happy to flex Marquise Brown only because of the matchup. And that's the only way. But if Jackson's not back, I think I'm firing up Akers. Laviska Shenault versus Minnesota, or would you rather play Mike Williams versus New England?
Mike Williams. I feel like Laviska's had a bit of growing pain this year. Been kind of banged up. I mean, it depends if DD Chark plays. If Chark plays, then Shenault. If Chark doesn't play, then Shenault. And if he does play, then Mikey Williams. I don't think the carries actually bring too much upside. So Mike Williams.
I might go Laviska here. He's been playing enough snaps for me to be okay. He's been a bit banged up, but then he played 91% of the snaps last week with 4 targets. So I think that'll hype up. I think that could be chasing points against Minnesota, and they don't really have a great defense. So I think if he plays 85, 90% of the snaps, I think you get 5 or 6 targets and hope he gets 5 or 6 catches for like 60 or 70 yards. I'd be okay starting Laviska there. I think the upside's there. Yeah. I kind of low-key gone off Mikey Williams a bit, but and just the matchup-wise, while Keenan might see a bit of Stephon Gilmore, none of that Minnesota defense is that good, apart from a little bit of that D-line. So,
Kendricks.
Yeah, I don't know. Viska's quite a boom bust. Kendricks, yeah.
I'm gonna call you out on that. I think the Vikings have some right pieces on defense. They got Kendricks and they got Harrison Smith. And
but they ain't doing much. They ain't doing a lot. Now, big question here. Do you remember that time when Travis Fulgham was the biggest waiver wire ad of the week for 3 straight weeks and he's absolutely banging? Do you remember that, Sam?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, well, since then, he's had to buy 1 point, 0.8 points, 1.6 points. Now, let me clear up. He did have 5 targets, 7 targets, 2 targets. But he had 1 catch, 2 catch for 8 yards per catch, and then 8 yards per catch. So going up against Green Bay, New Orleans, the next 2 weeks, this isn't a would you start or sit. Is he a guy that you're either playing at all or dropping, or do you have faith in him to pick this back up?
Nah, Jalen Reagor's gonna command more targets, and got it too. So
I think I think you've kind of hit the nail on the head there. I'm not sure what you were going to. So I think this has coincided with Jeffrey coming back, Rager coming back, Goddard coming back, Sanders being healthy, and then Ertz is due back now as well. I think Fulgham's like, he was kind of only the guy because he was the only guy there, right? So I think he's kind of low-key droppable now. I certainly am not playing him until I see, while the targets were there the last 2 or 3 weeks ago. I just am a huge fan. I think there's enough weapons there now that like Fulgham isn't going to get 800 targets per game. So yeah, I think he's definitely benchable. Should be benchable, and I think he's definitely, you can start considering dropping him as well.
Thanks.
Tight end, Tyler Higbee versus Arizona, or Mike Gesicki versus Cincinnati.
I mean, it kind of disgusts me to say, but I'm gonna say Mikey G here. I think Higbee's just, I don't know, you can't trust the volume, and there's other tight ends on that roster who also command targets and snap share. So Mikey G.
Yeah, I think I go Mikey G there as well. He got a TD last week, and Higbee's playing enough snaps to be relevant. He's not getting enough targets, and if Fitzpatrick's playing, I'm definitely firing up Gesicki. But being aware they're both pretty average options, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, it is what it is. Would you rather? Now I've got a player here, and I want your opinion on him. Is he every week start, or is he matchup dependent? That's TJ Hawkinson. Are you firing him up every single week now, or are you still resting him against good defenses?
No, I think you can trust him. What is he, a second-year tight end? And he's got tight end 4 right now, tight end 5 overall?
He is tight end 3 right now, and he is second-year tight end.
There you go. All good. Starting every week.
Yeah, he's had awesome targets share. 7 targets, 8 targets for 4 catches, 5 catches last 2 weeks. Got Chicago coming up. Might struggle. But Green Bay, they'll be chasing points. Tennessee, they'll probably be chasing points. Tampa, they'll certainly be chasing points. So
I feel like him, Kelsey, and Ingram are like probably the 3 only like floor-proof guys right now.
Yeah, completely agree. Yeah, those are just a few guys that we think a lot of people might be contending with tossing up. So take those with a grain of salt, because we're also idiots and we're not sidekicks. So don't at me when one of those bangs, because sorry, none of those are my guys. So my team is too good for that.
Yes.
Next segment is our fantasy orgy. Now this always makes me horny. We've got the last few right. I actually haven't reviewed last week's podcast, so I believe we went with Vikings, Panthers. Correct, Sam?
Yeah.
Now, on that, Vikings last week, Kirk Cousins threw for 300 yards and 3 TDs. Shout out to the boys, including Adam, for the last few weeks for saying to start Kirk Cousins, and he'd be a smoky. He's been on 45 attempts, 307 yards and 3 TDs with no picks last week. You'd love that every day of the week. Dalvin Cook, 18 carries, 61 yards, 4 receptions for 21 yards. Had a good day, even though he got hurt. He had a good day. Justin Jefferson, 70 yards, 2 TDs. Banged. Kyle Rudolph, 7 receptions for 70 yards. Banged. And all these other guys like BC Johnson and Chad Beebe banged as well with 70 and 80 yards. Mike Davis, 55 yards. Nice day. Not too bad. Robbie Anderson, we called the 100-yard game, but no TD for him. We got 94 yards and a TD. And then we called Curtis Samuel to bang, 72 yards. Nice. DJ Moore, 61 yards. Nice. So I chalk that up as a W, Sam, would you?
Yeah, close enough.
All right, who we got this week?
Cleveland versus Tennessee.
Woo! Wow, big call.
Yes.
Why?
Because both their defenses are and look, here's the thing, that they're not going to be able to stop each other's running games, but they're going to put a lot of focus on the running games, which will clear up the passing game. Unless you're the Browns, then I don't care. The passing game's kind of I mean, I think Landry might go okay. I can see like Donovan Peoples-Jones surprising. Baker will go all right. Tannehill will probably throw 2 tutties to A.J. Brown. And then like Jonnu Smith might sneak some random rushing touchdown or something. And then Chubb, Hunt, Henry, good. Very good.
Did you call it Jonu Smith rushing touchdown there?
Yes.
Jeez, that's a fucking hot take if I heard one.
Yeah. To get a rushing touchdown.
Which brings up the next point is hot take of the week, Sammy. Now, just recap. Right, last week, okay, for the third straight week, you called Deontay Johnson to have 0 points. Now, he had 13 targets for 8 receptions at 46 yards for 5.6 points. Now, Sam, are you considering that a win or a loss?
A win for me, for my call.
Yep.
I think it goes to prove that his talent is not what it should be, and therefore, my hot take for this week is that Deontay Johnson is now droppable in all formats. If you got him in Dynasty, trade him for a 4th round pick and a bag of chips and 5 fab. Get him out. He's not worth it. He looks tired. He looks banged up. His target share isn't what it used to be. He doesn't have the goods. If you're in my division, I'll happily take him off your hands for like a Jamison Crowder, just because I'm a person of goodwill and good faith. So I'll help you out. A straight swap, Crowder for Johnson.
You are a man of the people, Sam, and I do respect how much your heart is open to helping people. So I do want to just stop there and take a little bit of a serious note of I do respect that. I think the fantasy community respects that. So great call last week. 6 points that's not what you're expecting out of Deontay Johnson, especially with having Sam called to get 0 points. So well done. And I agree. I listen to Sam. He's a sharp, and don't be surprised if Deontay Johnson gets 0 points this week. Because if he does, we're going to be telling you, we told you to drop him. Or we told you to trade him. Like, it was pretty simple.
Get rid of him. If you're in any of my divisions, I'll trade him happily for 2 to 5 fab, help you out, get your feet off the ground.
Like, if you're going to drop him, just trade him for 2 to 5 fab. Like, it's that simple now. Yeah, what a good lad for looking after him.
I'm all about community.
Yeah, I that's the one thing that I do really respect about you, Sam. So, good work.
Thank you.
Next part is one of my favorite segments, but not gonna lie, it's not been my favorite segment the last few weeks. But good old punt. Now, Lord knows I love a punt. I just hate when it's not going well. Now, not to be the shoulda, coulda, woulda type of guy, but holy fuck, shoulda, coulda, woulda last week. Ended at 2-3. Now, my wins were quite nice. Seattle -5. That line closed, I think, like -6.5 or -7. So, got the -5. Cash money, baby.
No.
Under 56. Do you remember I called the under 56 in Tampa Kansas City game? I copped a little bit of heat for that. Vegas knows, baby. When you think, oh, that's too low for offense like that, Vegas knows. Offense cashed. The under's cash, sorry, because the offense was good, but defense shows up in that sort of game. Those are my 2 wins, my 3 losses. Now, Sam, I'm going to ask you to edit these in now, just so that the viewers can see how I lost these ones. Seattle to score the longest touchdown of the game. Okay, Seattle had a 17-yard touchdown the whole game, and Eagles didn't fucking score nothing. Right, their touchdown was like 2 yards or something. Then with 20 seconds to go, insert video here, they proceed with garbage time to throw a fucking Hail Mary and move down the field and throw a 33-yard fucking touchdown to then make that bet a loser with 20 seconds to go.
Mm.
Now, my heart fucking hurts for you, but I wish that was the only bad beat. The other bad beat was Chicago field goals over 1.5. Now, I believe in like the first play of the game, first drive of the game, David Montgomery had like a 60-yard play, went down the fucking field. They went to kick the field goal. Bang, field goal. Nice. With like 4 or 5 minutes in, whatever it was, kicks a field goal. Cool, I need one more field goal for the whole game. Needless to say, they did not kick another fucking field goal for the rest of the game. So, feel a bit on tilt. Those 2, I felt pretty bad beat. 2 and 3s, not bad, considering the 2 were won quite convincingly. And 2 of the losses were just heartbreak. Really should have gone 4-1. Didn't. It is what it is. The Jags unders one was pretty fucking shit. Moving on to this week though. Truck ahead. Hope no one's actually betting on these because fuck, you'd be in pain. But this week's one, I like the Browns plus 5.5.
Yep.
I'm low key on Browns keeping games close. I think Tennessee, I don't think they're going to get ahead enough. I think there could be a sneaky close game where 5 points is a great number to have. I can see them winning something like 19-24, stuff like that. I can see whenever you take a plus, you want to know that your team could actually win the game. I can see a possibility where the Cleveland Browns beat Tennessee. So plus 5.5 for me is fine. Next one is the Saints -3. I don't think Julio plays. I don't think Gurley plays. That's a bit tender, but I don't think he plays either. Saints, I think AK plays, Let Mary plays, MT plays. I think they've got too many points in them. I know Atlanta's aight, but like Matt Ryan's shown that they're terrible without Jones, right? And also Gurley. Last week was an anomaly, okay? Forget that fucking game. Everyone's betting on the Falcons because of last week's game. Don't play in last week, play in this week. Everything starts anew. -3 at $2 for the Saints. I think that line might come down to like 2.5 originally, and then it's fine. But I think it'll close something like 4. So you're going to get a nice line. I like those. Rams cards over 48. This line seems super trappy. I don't like betting on overs when the line seems too low. Like last week, I bet the unders just purely because everyone was betting the overs. I think I'm going to go overs here. I can see like a 27-24 sort of game. Nice offenses. I think Kyler's back to full health. So over 48.0. Book that.
Facts.
My last bet of the game, of the round, is Green Bay versus Philly over 47.5. I originally, when looking at this game, I wanted to go under so bad. And then I thought, I think it's very realistic that Green Bay puts up 30 points here. I can see Eagles getting a few TDs, like just because the Green Bay defense isn't good enough for me to be scared off taking the overs here. If the Green Bay defense was good and could stop the Eagles, I'd take that as well. But I think I want to take over 47.5 because I can see this being like a 32-15 sort of game or 16 sort of game. I can very much see that quite easily. Bang the overs there. Don't at me if it's wrong. Those are my bets. Please, punting gods, do not hurt me like you did last week. Really hurt my soul. That is it.
That's it.
Anything else for the week, Sam?
Just drop Deontay Johnson. You can't trust him. I'm going to win Division 3. And in terms of Dynasty, the tank is going well. I'm going to get my guy.
Are you getting Najee Harris? Is that who you're trying to take?
I don't mind either or, man. I've looked at enough tape now to not be fazed by either of those two guys. Either is a win.
Nice. Anyway, good night. Thank you again. Kakete.
Goodbye. Oh, how do I stop the fucking recording?